When I was 17 years old, 17 or 18, after a pretty busy summer with Chris, he was in a car accident on the way to school. Went off the road and was in a coma. I remember going to school and having the principal come in and to let me know that there'd been an accident and I needed to get to the hospital. Went in and I was trying to figure out what had happened, how serious it was, and the whole panic and fear, and just wanting to know what was going on. We kept him in the hospital for about a week. I just remember by the end of the day how many people had showed up, and family and friends and school friends and the church, and there was just tons of people at the hospital that week. My best friend is laying in a hospital bed, and nobody really had any positive medical things to say. And I remember going through all the emotions of being sad to being angry, and really not knowing what to do with being angry. Doctors came in and said that there's just not enough brain activity to keep things going, and Alden Lane ended up making a decision to pull him off the ventilators and to let him go. I remember leaving the hospital and being angry. It was my senior year in high school, and I didn't really want to do anything. I worked, I had jobs. It was easy for me to go and just go to work and do my job and go to school and do school, and that was really all I really wanted to do or cared about doing. I had some scholarships to go to college, and I pulled myself away from college. I remember it was tough, and at 17, 18 years old, realizing you don't really know how to cope with how fragile life is at that age. Eventually left high school, went to work, got a job, and started working. And 3 or 4 years into that job, I met this other gentleman named Chris Brooks. Didn't really care for him at first. Eventually we worked next to each other, so we got to know each other and started finding out that we had quite a bit in common. And he found out that I'm a Christian and I was a youth pastor, and we started talking about our faith and how we grew up and beliefs, and ended up after work one morning go to a Texaco parking lot, talk to him about salvation, and he accepted Christ in the parking lot of Texaco over chocolate milk and Krispy Kreme donuts. He started coming to the church, and his family started coming, and everything was good. We would go over to their house and play cards, and we would go bowling, and me and him would go hunting, and we were pretty close for 3 or 4 years there. We both worked the night shift, and Sunday night shift would roll around, and all the night shift guys, we stay up as late as we can so we can sleep the next day and get to work. And he was staying up, that Sunday night. His wife went to bed, and Chris never made it to bed that morning. He had a heart attack, and there was nothing anybody could do for him. I just remember seeing just the confusion and chaos that brought into their family. I remember for the next week or so, going through those same emotions again, just being angry. This is the second time now that losing a friend and losing my best friend. As I look back on it, it's hard to see when you're in the middle of it what's happening, how God's using circumstances, good and bad. I see the value in people. God tells us that we're to be, it's a community. God put us together as one body. I try more now, I think, than I ever have before to live in community and to pay attention to the people that God's put around me. All of us together are together because God wanted us to grow together. The Bible's pretty clear that we're a family. We're all adopted in, and that we're to live in community with each other.